Alright, so to start our class today, the first thing that we'd actually want to do is go to mykw.kw.com. Now to get into the myKW platform, you can go to mykw.kw.com, alright, and it'll direct you over to kw.onelogin.com. Alright, or of course, you can just go to kw.onelogin.com directly, alright? Either one works in this case. Alright, so all that we'll need to do on here, alright, is just go ahead and put inside our username and our password. Alright, then we can get in immediately. Now, if you forget your password, alright, there is a forgot password option, or if you need help retrieving your username, there is a help button on here too. Alright, well, let's go and click that login option. And just to give you a heads up, the forgot password option will go to your kw.com email. Alright, so it'll go to your kw.com email instead. Alright, so just to give you a heads up. Alright, now if it does take you over to this, there you go. Alright, then what we'll actually want to do is click on the KW intranet box on here. Alright, the KW intranet box is the main one that we want to focus on for today's class. Alright, so once I click on KW intranet, that would take me directly over to our myKW homepage. Alright. Now this is what our myKW homepage is going to look like when we first log into the back end of our account. Now just to give you a heads up, if you want to view your production numbers, you do need to have Adobe Flash on your web browser. So I'm currently using Firefox. I'm just going to click on Activate Adobe Flash on here. Allow remember, so that way it'll pop up for me. Alright, so this is kind of the homepage of everything that you'll have access to. So today we're really going to go over just kind of a basic overview of how you can find just about everything. Alright, and go over some of the bigger items that you might want to utilize in the very beginning. Alright, so first thing first, when we first come onto our myKW homepage, we're going to have our profile option up here at the top left. Now our profile will not only display out on KW.com, but it'll also display for other KW agents to find too. Alright, so we're definitely going to show you today some of the bigger items to make sure that you're up to 100%. And the good part is once you get this set up, you typically won't have to update it later on. Alright, unless you really want to change something out, you really don't have to update it that often. Alright. Then, of course, over here we also happen to have the reports option too. Alright, so in case you ever want to view any of your reports 24/7, or if you want to see how well you're doing, or maybe you just want to cross-check a couple items, alright, you can access pretty much any report that is available on here at any time. Alright, now obviously the production items down here are just going to be a very small, brief overview of the main production items you might want to take a look at. So obviously the biggest ones being your production for the past year, alright, or your GCI. Alright, but if you want to view even more reports, alright, you can pull them 24/7 under this Reports tab. Alright, but down here we do happen to have all of our production and all of our kind of statistics that'll display on our homepage. Now the production trends on here is going to be for the past year. Alright, so if you notice, it's currently December 19th, so we don't have December 2017 set up quite yet. Alright, now once we get into January and the transmittal happens from the office to KW Corporate, alright, then you'll see December's numbers pop up on here too. Alright, so really this is everything from the previous month going back 12 months. So that's why we have December 2016 to November 2017. Alright, then you can also view your anniversary, your GCI, how much you've paid back to the Market Center, and how much you have remaining on your cap status on here too. Alright, and then over on the right-hand side, we just have a few ratios that we can take a look at. Now, once again, if you want to look at even further reports, that doesn't make any sense, even more reports, alright, you can actually click on View Full Report up here as well. This will take you to the exact same location that the Reports option over here would take you to. Alright, so just to give you a heads up on there. Alright, then of course up here we happen to have our E-Edge control panel. Alright, now the E-Edge control panel is where we're going to spend a good amount of our class today. Alright, so let's go through all 6 of these items real quick. Alright, so at the top left up here we happen to have My Leads. Now the My Leads is going to be a culmination of all the new leads that have come over to your myKW platform. Whether it's from your app, from your profile, whether it's from your website, alright, however people may be contacting you, this is where a new lead can come from. Alright, now you can also add a new contact as a new lead too, just to give you a heads up. Alright, so you can always add inside that status. Alright, But of course, it's just a nice way to see who you might need to contact immediately. All right, but then we have the My Contacts section down here too. All right, this is where you can go through and manage your database. You can add new contacts. I click the plus sign of My Contacts. As you can see, then I can click on Add New Contacts in case I want to go through and add inside a brand new contact immediately. All right, so completely up to you in this case. Now, if you do want to add inside a contact, all right, you'll just need 3 items in order to add in that contact immediately. All right, so you'll need a first name, you'll need a last name, and then you'll need some type of contact, whether it's an email, a phone number, or a property address. All right, those are the 3 items that you'll need. Now, just to give you a heads up, you can't have multiple contacts with the same information on there. All right, so in this case, if you happen to have one contact that's already imported and already has the email on the back end, if you try to add them a second time, it'll come back saying that there was an error. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. You can't have exact duplicates inside your system. All right, but if you ever hear someone say add them to your database, this is what they're talking about over here. All right. Then in addition to that, we also happen to have the My Marketing section. All right, under My Marketing, this is where we can actually work on our marketing materials. We can work on our campaigns. There are a slew of other items we can take a look at as well, but these are the 2 biggest ones that we'll probably want to focus on. All right, so if you're looking for email marketing or print marketing items, you have that available under Create Marketing Materials. And if you're looking for email, print, or combo campaigns, just automatic drip campaigns, those are available too. All right, and we'll go over how you can access all of that at the very end of the class. All right, so the My Marketing tab is where you can really focus on all of your different marketing pieces that are available for you. All right, then below that, we happen to have the My Email section. All right, and this is going to be your e-edge email. All right, so the e-edge email in this case. All right, so for the e-edge email, this will only be sent whenever you're sending out an email from the platform. All right, just to give you a heads up on that. All right, so they'll only be sent out whenever you're sending an email from that platform. Now, if someone ever replies back to a marketing email that you sent back, it'll actually automatically go to a different email address, so you don't have to worry about that at all. All right, so I always like to show people where you can access this just to give you a heads up. All right, then of course the top right up here we happen to have My Transactions. Now this is going to be your .loop account. Now we don't talk about .loop too much in this class. We do have a .loop 101 and 201 class each month. All right, so be on the lookout for that schedule, all right, because that's actually going to go over .loop and how to utilize all the different tools on there. All right, so they're both 1-hour classes because .loop is its own beast in itself. All right, it's very easy to utilize, but we like to take a little extra time to go over it. All right, but if you're looking for any listing or buyer transactions, or maybe you need to send out a new contract, this is where you can access that immediately. All right, and just make sure that your office is utilizing .loop. All right, most offices use .loop, but there are certain ones that I think it's not in compliance actually to use it, I believe over in California. All right, so be on the lookout for that and obviously double check with your office. All right, then of course if you're like me and you'd like to know exactly what you need to do each day or want to have certain tasks set up, action plans might be something for you. All right, so I like checking things off whenever I've completed something. All right, so in this case, under the My Action Plan section, you can actually have something set up for a buyer, for a seller, for an open house, for a new listing, all right, whatever it might be, so you can see exactly what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. All right, so it's basically just having kind of a checklist of what you need to do. Now, you can utilize templates that are already created, or of course, you can create your own templates too. All right, so that's something else you might want to take a look at. All right, then of course, down here at the bottom left, we have the My Market Center intranet. All right, this is an intranet that is purely for your office. And what I mean by that is if you go on here and you click on this, it's going to take you over to the back-end intranet for your office only. All right, so I won't be able to see what's, in your back-end unless I'm linked up with that office. So if I click on this link, it would take me to the intranet for the Vancouver office number 513. All right, so in this case, you can actually chat with other agents or staff in the office. You can view other documents that they may have put in the back end. You can view the training calendar as well. All right, so it's kind of like an internal group, all right, just for your office. I would definitely suggest taking a look at that, all right, because there might be a good amount of items on here that you'll want to check out that the office has set up for you. All right, so that's kind of the e-edge control panel just in a very brief nutshell on here. Now, a couple things I do like to chat about up here at the very top. All right, obviously under the Education tab, I would highly suggest checking out KW Connect. All right, KW Connect is a fantastic place where once again you can view the office training calendar, but you can also search for different documents that you may want to download. All right, you can actually see other items that agents are sharing around the country that work at Keller Williams. All right, and the biggest thing is you can obviously view training. All right, you can view webinars, you can view podcasts, all available 24/7. All right, so I would definitely check out KW Connect under the Education tab, because it's a nice place for additional training. All right, it's basically a social media site just for KW agents to kind of come in and share. All right, then of course under the Marketing tab up here, don't let that confuse you with the My Marketing tab. All right, so this is just KW's marketing item, but the My Marketing is where you'll actually do all of your main pieces. All right, the biggest thing I always like to show people on here is the logos and graphics section. So in case you want to find any KW logo, they will have that available on here for you. All right, or you might be able to find your Market Center logo if it's available. All right, so just to give you a heads up. But below that, we have Business Basics. One of the biggest things we always get a question about is where can we find letterhead? All right, letterhead is not available under the My Marketing section, but you can find it under Business Basics. It'll basically just be a Word document with a footer that happens to have, or a footer or a header in this case, that happens to have a KW logo. All right, and then you can add inside your additional info on there too. All right, but if you want to find letterhead, it would be under Marketing up here in the Business Basics section. Now, since this is a technology class, obviously we definitely want to chat about technology on here, and there are a couple things we want to take a look at. All right, so the first thing I want to take a look at is this KW website section. So I'm going to click on KW website because this is how you can actually access your Placer site. Now, much like .loop, we do not talk about the Placer site too much in this class because we have a class on it on its own. All right, so every Wednesday we have a class purely on Placer and how you can get that site up and running or how you can take it to the next level once it is up and running. All right, but if you ever want to access your Placer site, you'll want to click on KW Websites under Technology. Now, I clicked on KW Websites under Technology, and this is what it displays. All right, your KW agent website. All right, so your KW website is mobile responsive, includes full IDX for your market, provides multiple lead capture opportunities, enables systematized follow-up, and is integrated with the KW platform. All right, now if we see that, that's fantastic, but then right down here is where we really want to pay attention to. All right, if it says your new website is ready, go to My Website, then you can click on that red button and access the back end of your website immediately. Now, if yours says that it's currently being launched, no worries. All right, there are two things that need to happen for this to be launched. One, you have to have an active KW.com email, which more than likely you might have. If not, we're going to show you how to access that in a second. All right, and two, you need to have your MLS ID in the white pages. All right, if your MLS ID is in the white pages, fantastic. It should launch within about 24 hours. If not, you can contact your office to make sure that they add that in immediately for you. All right, typically only an admin will have access to add this inside, so I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, but once you see this go to My Website option, then you are all good to go. All right, so that's one thing I want to take a look on here. Then under Technology, we also happen to have KWLS. That stands for the Keller Williams Listing System. All right, under the Keller Williams Listing System, if you have an active listing, you will want it on here as soon as possible. All right, having it on here will help to syndicate your listing out to multiple platforms. The two biggest ones, obviously, are Zillow and Trulia, so we definitely want to have that on here. All right, so when I click on KWLS, it will open up a brand new window, so let me maximize that real quick. All right, and here's an example of what an active KWLS looks like. All right, so in this case, we can actually see our listings at a glance, and typically we want all of our listings to be accepted. All right, we want to make sure they're all accepted, so everything is accepted and going through properly. All right, but then we can actually see our listing data. Any active listings would automatically start to syndicate out to those different websites. They do specify it goes out to about 150 websites, obviously the two biggest being Zillow and Trulia. All right, you can see how many have expired, how many are sold, how many are TNC. All right, and then of course down here, if you happen to have this option, a single point of entry, which a good amount of offices will have, so let's go and chat about it. All right, you want to make sure a check is inside that box. All right, so if you have this option on your KWLS, you want to make sure a check is inside that box. All right, and the main reason that we want that check inside that box, all right, it's because at the end of the day, if you have this in here, all right, then it'll automatically pull over your listings from the MLS, all right, to the KWLS automatically. All right, so just to give you a heads up, it'll automatically pull that over to the KWLS. So that way you're basically just adding in one place and it's coming over automatically. All right, so instead of having to do two things, you're just doing it once. Now, not everyone will have a list hub, and that's perfectly fine. All right, some offices have something called single entry listing. So if your office does have that, it'll be very similar to list hub where you can add that inside. All right, or if your office doesn't have single entry listing or list hub, no worries. All right, you can always click the create a listing option up here at the top and create that listing immediately. Now, one thing to note, whenever you actually create this listing on here, it's not going to ask as many questions as the MLS will typically ask. So it's actually a lot easier to create a listing right away. All right, but we want to make sure those listings are active inside our KWLS as soon as possible, because then it usually takes, they say, 24 to 72 hours to go over to Zillow and Trulia, typically just 24 after it's active inside the KWLS. All right, but if it comes from the KWLS, then you'll have the KW branding, right, on Zillow and Trulia. All right, so we want to make sure we have that KW agreement set up on there. All right, now the next thing we're going to take a look at under technology, you obviously can click on the change password option in case you ever want to change your myKW password. All right, completely up to you. Maybe you want to change it every now and then. That's perfectly fine just for, security standards. That's okay. All right, but right above that, we're going to have KW email. Now, the KW email is your KW.com email address that's used by going to gmail.com. Now, this confuses a couple people just because they haven't been to gmail.com and used a different email outside of Gmail, and that's perfectly understandable. All right, so in this case, you can actually go to gmail.com, type in your KW.com email, and that's where you would use it. So I'll show you how that's going to happen in a second. All right, so once I click on KW email on here, okay, all right, then as you can see, KW Google Apps for Business email. Brand yourself as a Keller Williams Realty agent by signing up for a KW.com email address. We'll create an email account for you, which you can access through Gmail and standard mail clients like Microsoft Outlook. All right, they say it takes 24 to 48 hours. It typically does not. All right, but the good thing is you actually get 30 gigabytes of online storage. All right, if you happen to have a regular Gmail account, you know that you typically get 15 gigabytes, so they're just going to double it. All right, so you're basically just going to get double the amount of storage. So even if you have no intention of using this KW.com email, I would definitely use it just for the storage capabilities. All right. Now, if you happen to have one, that's fantastic. All right. If not, you can always click the sign up option to see if you have one. All right. So you can always click the sign up option at the top right up here. And I know I'm moving a little bit fast. This is the 1 hour overview class, so it's mainly just to watch. That's why we're going a little bit quicker. All right, but once I click on sign up, as you can see, it says you already have a primary email account. Your primary email address is blank@KW.com. All right, so that means that she's good to go and she could sign in with this Lori Godfrey at KW.com email going to Gmail right away. Now, if you don't happen to have one set up, it'll actually give the option to create one right away for yourself. And remember, you have to have a KW.com email created in order for Placer to launch. All right, so just to give you guys a heads up on that, that has to be set up. All right. Now, another cool thing is if you do have it set up and you click on this Edit Email Accounts option, all right, then you can actually set up alias emails if you want to. You can have up to 5 different alias emails. So if someone emails that, it'll automatically go to your primary KW email. You can see if you have forwarding set up. So if you want to use your KW.com email, but mainly just to forward over to another email, that's an option too. All right, or the biggest thing that I want to let you guys know is this is where you can change your password. All right, so this is where you can change that password. A lot of people will say, I'm trying to get in my KW.com email. I went over to Gmail and it says I need to contact the administrator. Well, the administrator is technically KWRI, but they've given you access to where you can actually go through and change that password immediately back here. All right, so there you go. All right, now, of course, if you're ever just going through myKW and you go over technology and then obviously KW email, All right, if you click on Manage Your KW Email, that'll take you to that same page we were just on, where you can actually add inside an alias, you can see what forwarding you have set up, or you can change your KW email password. All right, so just to give you a heads up on that one. Now, the other good thing about the KW.com email, since it is a Gmail account, it's going to work just like a Gmail account, whether you go to Gmail, whether you want to use it on Outlook, or whether you want to use it on your phone or tablet. So I'm going to go to Gmail just because I'm using a laptop right now. So I went to gmail.com. I'm going to click the sign in option like I would signing into a Gmail account. Except this time I'm going to put inside my myKW.com email instead of a Gmail account. And then I'll put inside my password as well. All right, and once we put that in, then we're all good to go. All right, and as you can see, then your inbox will pop up. You're going to have the exact same functionality as a Gmail account. So in this case, as you can see, I'm currently using 4.11 gigabytes of 30 gigabytes that are available to me, or 13% of it. I can see my inbox, I can see my sent mail, I can see my bulk, all right, or basically, yeah, I guess I can see bulk. All right, down here, I can also see my spam, I can see my trash, I can compose an email. All right, it looks exactly like a Gmail account. So if you ever used Gmail before, it's pretty much verbatim. Except now, whenever we send out an email, it would go from the myKW.com email instead. So once again, if you ever want to add this inside, and maybe you want to add it over to your iPhone, to your Android, to your tablet, to Outlook, you would follow the exact same steps that you would use whenever you're actually adding this in, all right, as a normal Gmail account. Nothing different. So there you go. So I just want to show you how you can access that. All right, now I do need to get back over to my myKW homepage, and if you're ever on another page you need to get back to the homepage, there are 3 ways where you can access it. 1, you can click the myKW logo up here at the top left, and that'll always take you back to the homepage if that is available. All right, 2, you can click the home option, and that'll take you back to the homepage, but it'll leave this page open. So if you need to get back to the myKW homepage, but you also want to leave this page open, click on this because it'll open up a new window or a new tab. All right, or tried and true method, you can always just type inside myKW.kw.com in the address bar. All right, whatever you prefer in this case. All right, so I am going to click on the profile option next, and I'm just going to go over some basic items that are very important to make sure that you set up. All right, and why you'll probably want to set this up on your profile, not only just to get it up to 100%, but to make sure that you're really optimizing everything possible and how people can find you on KW.com. All right, so I'm going to click on that profile option up here. All right, and when I do that again, sorry, it's going to take me to our contact information comparison page. Now, the contact information comparison page, as you can see below, is a summary of the contact information displayed on your KW.com profile page and your Keller Williams websites. All right, click the edit buttons to complete your profile and customize your contact information for each area. All right, the main location you'd want to focus on for your profile is under Other My Referrals. All right, you can avoid the other 3 altogether. This is the one location where you can get your profile up to 100%. All right, so this is the only place where you'd really want to focus on. All right, so with that being said, if I click on the Edit option under My Referrals on here, here we go. All right, then this is going to display everything that we'll need in order to get up to 100%. All right, so everything possible. So let me zoom in real quick for you guys, make it easier to see. All right, now I'm only going to go over certain items on here. All right, so nothing too crazy. All right, but with that being said, the main items that you want to make sure that you have that are very important. Number 1, make sure you fill out all your specialties. All right, these can be specialties outside of real estate. All right, and whenever you are filling this out, make sure you put it inside a straight line, all right, with a comma or a space between everything, all right, to make sure that it displays properly. All right, it is going to display in a straight line, so we want to make sure that everything looks correct on here. All right. The next big item that we're going to have down here is the city service areas. Now, I usually suggest saving this for the very end. And the reason I suggest saving that for the very end is because at the end of the day, if you click on this, everything else that you just set up, so if we click on Add Service Areas, everything else we just set up would not save. All right, so we want to make sure that we obviously save this for the very, very end. All right. But each city that you add inside here will give you the opportunity of popping up when someone goes on myKW.com and searches for that city. All right, so in this case, feel free to add inside as many cities as you wish to work within. All right, cities being the key word in that case. All right, now obviously if you speak another language, people can search by language as well. So make sure if you're on a PC, you hold down the Control option before you click on another language. Or if you're on a Mac, make sure you hold down the CMMD option before you click on another language. So that way you can select multiple ones. All right. Now we do need referral notes filled out in order to get up to 100%. So if you don't have anything on here, not only will this not get you to 100%, but it won't allow you to display for other KW agents to view you when searching for a KW agent in the intranet. All right, so say for instance, I just helped someone sell their home over here in Orlando. They're now moving to Washington, and then I want to go through the KW intranet to find an agent up in Washington to refer them to. All right, as long as you have your referral notes set up on here, then you have the potential of popping up for me to choose to send you this referral lead. All right, so make sure you have your referral notes set up. All right, now if we scroll down, obviously headshot is always a very, very important item on here. This is going to account for 10%, which is the highest percentage available on your profile. And if you don't put inside a headshot, it's going to say camera shy. All right, I'm sure you guys have probably seen this countless times, but if you ever see someone that has a profile without a headshot, you're probably going to skip over it. So make sure that you have that headshot you've added in as soon as possible. All right, so just to give you a heads up. All right. Now below that, we're going to have obviously all of our different information that we can add inside of our office address. We can add inside our business phone, our mobile carrier. All right, but the two really big items down here is going to be your bio, all right, and then display URL for KW.com. Now your bio is where you can really go to town, all right, and basically let everyone know why they should choose you. I give them just a little bit of a background as to, hey, this is, why you should choose me as a real estate agent. All right, so in this case, feel free to typically write maybe 1 to 3 paragraphs. That'll give them an idea as to how they can actually utilize you even further. All right, and of course, if you guys need help with what a good bio looks like, all right, I'm going to send you guys over some bio tips that we have. I'm going to put it over inside our chat section, so that way you can take a look at it right away. Now the display URL for KW.com is not part of 100%, but if you don't have anything inside here, you will not display on KW.com. All right, so I just want to make sure that you have something inside here. All right, typically I suggest putting inside your first hyphen last name. All right, so putting inside your first hyphen last name will help out tremendously. All right, that'll actually be the best for SEO or search engine optimization. All right, so that way you can display a little bit higher whenever people are searching for your name, because this is going to link up with the KW.com domain, and since that KW.com domain has been around for quite some time and has fantastic SEO, this is just going to help you out whenever someone's searching for your name. All right, but the final thing I do want to show you guys just in the profile down here, all right, is right over here where it says display profile on KW.com, make sure that says yes. All right, as long as that says yes, then you'll be good to go. All right, that's going to count for 5%, and that is the other item that you'll need selected in order to make sure that you display on KW.com. All right, because once again, how many leads will come through KW.com, I really can't tell you. All right, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that your profile is out there so people can search for you and find you on KW.com immediately. All right, that is the biggest thing. Now, one thing to note, whenever you actually click the save option down here, so I'm going to click save real quick, it's going to look a little funky whenever you click the save option. It's going to make it seem like you did something incorrect, because if you see this pop up at the very top, if you're like me, you see that exclamation point in red, immediately I associate red with an error that I did something wrong, specifically with an exclamation point. All right, but then if you read it, it says associate information successfully saved. So as long as it says associate information successfully saved, then you are good to go and you're golden. I wish it was a green check mark. That would make everything a little bit nicer and whatnot. Green usually means go, red means stop. All right, but just make sure you read what's actually listed right up here to see if you are good to go. All right, so that's just kind of the main bulk items of the profile that you might want to take a look at. Now, more than likely, if we already set you up, you should be good to go in this case. But regardless, if you want to check this out later on, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, so once again, I need to get back over to my myKW homepage. So I'm just going to type inside mykw.kw.com in the address bar up here at the very top. So that'll get me right back to our homepage. All right, just starting from square zero on here. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about is the KW app. Now, the KW app is a fantastic tool to use, all right, because unlike your websites, where you're going to have your IDX that's only available to search for listings inside your board, all right, the app will actually allow you to search for listings basically all over the country. All right, so that's the cool part about it. So in order to find your information to update on the app, you can go and click the plus sign of My Marketing and go to Manage eAgency Website. Now, the eAgency website is the old school website that was actually supposed to go away at the beginning of 2017. In January 2017, it was in theory supposed to be retired. It is still alive and kicking at the end of 2017 in December. But I always tell people, think of the capital A in app, or sorry, A in eAgency as app. So I always say, think of the capital A as app, because this is where your app info will be. All right. So once I click on that, it's going to take me to the back end, as we can see right over here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit further, all right, of our eAgency platform, but mainly we're going to focus on this for the app. All right, so first thing first, if you guys are jotting down some info, maybe just taking notes, all right, you'll want to check out the 1.0 and 1.2 section. It'll be highlighted on here to make it a little bit easier for you to see everything. All right, so 1.0 for edit agent team info and 1.2 for edit contact info. This is the information that would display on your app when someone tries to contact you. All right, so there are three main places we'd want to focus on here. Now, obviously, you will need to fill out everything if I scroll down that has a red asterisk mark with the exception of designations. All right, try your hardest. You will not be able to change the designations, I promise. All right, but the agent display name on here is the name that'll actually display on your app. So when someone downloads your app, it automatically pops up. It says you're now viewing, Blank's app. This is the name that'll pop up. And then on the home page of the app, it'll automatically display this name as well. All right, then down here we have the email address. If they click the contact agent option on your app, all right, this email address will pop up for them to email. All right, it'll say that it's sending from whatever email is linked up on your email on your phone or tablet, but this is where it'll actually send to. All right, so just to give you a heads up, that usually causes some confusion because whenever you're using the contact agent option on your app, it's going to look like you might have an older email linked up for people to contact, when really that's the email that you would be sending from if you're testing it as yourself. But this is the email where you would receive any inquiries. All right, so make sure you put inside your business email on here, or if you ever change your email, this is where you'd want to update it. All right, address line 1, city, state, zip, country, that's all for the eAgency site. We just need that set up in order for this to populate and or for it to save, obviously. All right, so just fill that out with your office or market center address. And then the phone number up here is going to be your main phone number you'd like to utilize when people try to call you via the app. All right, so on here, if they go to contact agent and they do the call option, this is the phone number that'll pop up. Now, you can use dashes, you can use dots, you can use parentheses, spaces, whatever you prefer. I usually just go the old school way of just dashes, keep it as simple as possible. All right, but make sure that it's a direct line of contact to yourself, whether your cell phone, whether it's over to your business line, whatever it might be. Don't make it go back over to your office and hope that they actually patch it through to you. All right, make sure that this is actually going to your phone directly. Now, whenever you are updated and everything is good to go, just click that save option at the bottom. All right, and this one will actually save successful whenever everything is completed, and it'll say save successful in green. Now, one thing to note, just to give you guys a heads up, the app does take approximately 72 hours to update. All right, so it doesn't update immediately. It does take about 72 hours. All right, so any changes that you make today probably won't happen until Friday. All right, so just want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, and that's if you're watching this class today on the 19th. All right, so that's the first place to take a look at for the app. The next place is under 2.0 and 2.4 for edit site info. So 2.0 for design your site and 2.4 for edit site info. Now this part is actually kind of a twofold part. All right, one, it's going to allow you to link up on your app when someone's under the My Agent section of the app viewing your info. All right, how they can actually go over to your website. So we definitely want to make sure we sync this up where people are able to get over to our website, and more importantly, the website that we'd like to utilize. But this will also sync up on your app, your profile that we were just taking a look at. Because on your KW profile, there'll be a Visit My Website link that people can click on in order to visit your website even further. All right, so the only thing we're going to focus on today is under this hosting section. And we're really just going to focus on website to display and alternate website. So for website to display, we want to check the little circle dot to the left-hand side of alternate. So that way we can actually use an alternate URL instead of the eAgency site. So that way we could link up our eEdge website, we could link up our Playster site, we could link up our own custom website, whatever it might be that you want to display. All right, and once that's completed, then we can actually put inside our website address under the alternate website. Now, whenever you add inside your alternate website address, make sure you include that http://. All right, so always include that http://. All right, that has to be added inside in order for this to work properly. All right, but in this case, as you can see, she has an alternate website to display of the godfreyrealestategroup.com. So not only on her profile, if someone clicks on the Visit My Website link, would it go to the godfreyrealestategroup.com, but on her app, if someone goes to the My Agent section where they can view your profile info, it would give them the option to go to the godfreyrealestategroup.com as well for the website. All right, and of course you can change that once again 24/7. That is not set in stone. You just need to click that save option at the bottom to update this. But remember, it does take 72 hours for this to update. I just want to make sure you guys know that it will take 72 hours. Now the final thing, now that we've done a little bit of maintenance on the app, is to actually find what our app info is. All right, so under here we can click on 4.0 for Add Listings IDX Search. All right, and then 4.5 for Mobile Property Search. All right, so 4.0 and then 4.5 in this case. Now when we click on that, this is going to display all of our mobile property information, or basically all of our app info. Now if you're just watching this class today, which I anticipate you guys probably are because it's a very fast-paced class, the info you're seeing on the screen is for Lori Godfrey. All right, every agent is going to have their own specific app info. All right, so don't jot down the info that you're seeing on my screen. All right, so I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, because you want to make sure that you go back through and you download your app info instead. All right, now when taking a look at this, we have our mobile URL. All right, and that's one way where you can actually download your mobile app. All right, that's actually one of the fastest ways where you can download it too. All right, so in this case, you could take that mobile URL, you could put it inside your phone or your tablet's web browser, and click the download app option immediately. All right, so that'll help out tremendously. All right. Now, of course, with that being said, too, you can also utilize the text code. Now, you can text this code to the number 87778. So that's 8 3 7s and the number 8, and you'll text that code. Now, whenever you text that code as your message, it's then going to send back a text message saying, thank you so much for contacting. All right, here is the URL to download, in this case, Lori Godfrey's app. All right, and then it would give you this URL so they can download it immediately. All right, or maybe you happen to have a buyer or a seller that actually downloaded the Keller Williams Realty app just from the App Store. All right, then you can give them your code, your agent code, all right, in order to put inside the My Agent section, all right, to link up to you immediately. Now, to see if you're linked up properly on the app, all you have to do is just sign in. Not even actually sign in. All you need to do is open the app. All right, and right at the very bottom, as long as it has your name down there, that means you're linked up properly. Now, in addition to that, if you want to use a QR code, you can always right-click on this and save it as an image or save it as a Trying to think what else it might say. I don't think I've ever seen save picture before. All right, but usually save image as, save image. All right, so that way you can actually save this even further to put on your business cards, on your email signatures, print materials, whatever you'd like to. So that way if someone has a QR scanner, that'll take them directly over to your mobile URL. All right, and one of the biggest things I suggest utilizing is this mobile app service area. Now, you're not required to use this, but the reason I say I definitely suggest utilizing it is because at the end of the day, if you don't use it, at the very bottom of your app, it's just going to display your market center city. All right, so I usually want people to specify that they work at places outside of their market center city. All right, so if I take this URL to give you an idea as to what it would look like, let's go and check out Lori's real quick. Did my mouse just... There we go. Might need to get new batteries in my mouse, it looks like. That's fine. I'll put inside an H. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to need to get new batteries in my mouse. That's depressing. I just got this mouse. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to take a look at Lori's over here, and it should say the Godfrey Real Estate Group because that was her name in that 1.2 section, and then Beaverton, Oregon, because that's the city that her market center is a part of. All right, now if we had changed anything on here under the mobile property search section for the mobile app service area, it would then display instead of Beaverton, Oregon. So that's why I usually suggest adding something on here, even if it's, serving greater blank area, helping you find your home. All right, whatever you want to add inside. Typically, you'll have about 45 to 48 characters to play with. I haven't done a hard count as to how many characters you'll have. All right, but about 45 to 48 or so. All right, but feel free to add that inside. And once that is added in, just click that save option. And remember, once again, if you did update your mobile app service area, it will take about 72 hours to update. But this mobile URL is something that you can use over on your marketing materials. You can use it over on your print materials. You can use it on your social media platforms. You can put it on your website. All right, it's a great way to get people to download your app. All right, it's 2017, almost 2018. Everyone is using a mobile phone. A bunch of people are using tablets. Most laptops are tablets and laptops now. All right, so having apps is very crucial. All right, and this will help out tremendously. So there you go. So let me X out of this real quick. And remember, once again, to access where we were, we clicked the plus sign of My Marketing and went to Manage E-Agency Website. Remember, capital A is like app. All right, now the next thing I want to take a look at is the Contact section. All right, so under Contacts on here, this is where you can actually go through and view all of your contacts, or you can add new contacts as well. So I'm going to click on the Add Contacts option on here just to show you how simple it is to add a contact. Now, if you guys recall from the very beginning of our class, I did say you need 3 items in order to add a contact. All right, you need a first name, you need a last name, you need some type of contact, whether it's an email, phone number, or property address. All right, so in this case, I could technically go through here and add myself as a contact and be done. All right, I could add inside Scott Leroy. Oh, there we go. All right, and then I could add inside my email address and call it a day. All right, now if I wanted to, I could add inside phone numbers on here too. I can create my own custom categories just for searching purposes over on the My Contact section. I can change the type of contact that we might have. Now, these types are set in stone as to what we can and can't change. All right, but in this case, you can actually choose whatever that contact might be. You could even add inside your own custom subtype, once again, for searching purposes. You can change the status on here. Now, I do want to tell you guys, whenever you're adding inside a status, please make sure that whatever status you add inside, you keep that same ID across the board. All right, so in this case, if I want to add this contact as a lead, and I specify that leads are looking to purchase or sell within the next 3 months, then the next time I get a contact that is looking to purchase or sell within the next 3 months, I don't want to make them a lead. All right, if I want to put them as hot and I think they're going to purchase or sell within the next 6 months, then whenever I get someone that's looking to purchase or sell within the next 6 months, I want to make sure they're hot. Now, the reason I want to do that is, 1, I want your database to be as organized as possible, but 2, on all the campaigns, all the email campaigns and all the email, one-off pieces you might send out, you can actually search and sort by status now to make it a lot easier so you can just bulk add. So in this case, if I want to send out a certain piece or if I want to set up a certain campaign that just goes out to hot, I can do that. All right, even further down, we have nickname, gender, job title, company. All right, birthday and purchase anniversary. You do need that added inside if you want to add them to a birthday or purchase anniversary campaign. All right, those are pieces that'll come out every year on that date for 4 years in a row. All right, just to give you a heads up. For birthday, you only need the month and the day, so you can literally do their birthday for the current year, whether it's 2017 or 2018, whichever's closer. All right, for the purchase anniversary, you do need the year included as well. Now, you are able to leave notes on the contacts, so if you ever happen to call them, email them, schedule an appointment, you can add that inside. And the cool thing about the notes is whenever you actually add inside a note, it'll automatically add inside a date and a timestamp on there, so you know exactly when this was added in. All right, so that way you can keep track of everything and be neat and organized. Now, when you first set up a contact, you can add inside an address, just one address on here. All right, so if you want to add inside their home address, work address, where they're moving to, whatever it might be, you're definitely more than welcome to. And once you save them as a contact, you could then go through and add inside multiple addresses too. All right, so you can always add inside, extra addresses as well. Now, for secondary details, this is fantastic if you want to link this person up with someone else. All right, so maybe I wanted to link this contact, which is myself, up with my wife. Then I could actually put inside their name on here. All right, and then I can even put inside their email, phone number, their relationship to me, their nickname, or family members. All right, now a lot of people will ask, it now has the option of email and phone number on here. Does that mean that if I add Scott over to a campaign, it'll automatically send out that campaign email to Scott and, in this case, Casey? And the answer is no. All right, so it'll still only send to the primary email if you're going to add them to a campaign. So if you want both, say, for instance, husband and wife, or maybe two people are just purchasing a home or selling a home together, or maybe they're work colleagues, friends, relatives, whatever it might be. All right, then in this case, you would want to add them in as separate contacts in order to add them over to the same campaign if you want to do that. All right, so this is really just to give you a heads up of, oh, hey, Scott's the person I've been chatting with, but by the way, here's his wife, Casey. And then here's their contact information too. Now, there is a time frame section on here too, so you can actually see the time frame that they're looking to purchase or sell. All right, you can see where they're looking in and their max budget also. Now, you can send out a welcome email. I typically avoid this just because at the end of the day, when you send out this welcome email, it's going to automatically give you the option of displaying, in this particular case, a password for the eEdge website. Now, the reason I don't suggest sending that out is because the Place Your website is the main site that you'll probably want to utilize now. So in order to avoid any confusion, I may not suggest sending out that little, welcome email on here. And if you do have groups set up, then you can go through and you can add them into groups immediately to keep everything neat and organized. All right, but all you'd have to do whenever you are ready to go is just click that save option and you'll be all set up. Now, if you recall earlier in the class, I said you can't have exact duplicates of the same contact if they are already inside the system. So in this case, Scott Leroy with the scott@scottleroymarketing.com email is already inside the system. All right, so on here it's highlighted in red that there's an error on here, so I can't add them again. And then I can see your contact, Scott Leroy, already has this email, so I could click on here to go and view that contact instead. All right, so once again, you can't have exact duplicates where they're going to have the exact same contact info. All right, so I always like to show that just to give you guys a heads up. Now, under the contacts section, you can actually view all of your contacts in case you just want to go through your database, filter it out, call certain people, group them as well. You can view all active contacts if they've been recently active over on your eEdge website, typically in the past 48 hours. We just talked about adding a contact and how simple it is. All right, you can import or export contacts at any time. So if you want to bulk import a CSV file, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to. And feel free to contact us if you need help with that. We can do that no problem for you. All right, or you can actually export your contacts to a CSV file. The biggest question I always get is if I put my contacts inside the myKW platform, all right, does that mean that KW controls the contacts and I can't get them back? And the answer is no. You can take these at any time. In fact, I usually suggest exporting a CSV file of your contacts about once a month just to have a backup. All right, but you can also add groups. All right, now you used to only be able to add 50 groups. They just upped it back in. I think they said June or July to 1,000. So you're going to have way more groups than you'll probably ever need. All right, so in this case, you can add inside whatever group you want to. All All right, and I usually suggest adding inside however many groups you would like to keep everything neat and organized, because at the end of the day, when doing email campaigns, you can actually add by groups, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. All right, so in order to add a group, it's pretty simple. Just type inside the group name that you want to up here inside the Create New Group section, and click that Save option. All right, so since we're almost at that 1 hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and add inside in our little chat section the groups that I would typically tell you guys to add inside. All right, and there are going to be 4 different groups on here. All right, so we're going to have 12 direct, 33 touch, 8x8 buyer, and then 8x8 seller. All right, and these are all different campaign name groups. So the 12 direct is going to be 12 pieces sent out the entire year. The 33 touch is 33 pieces sent out the entire year starting in April. All right, that's one thing to note, it starts in April. All right, and then the 8x8 buyer and 8x8 seller are buyer or seller campaigns that are typically 8 contacts in 8 weeks. All right, so just to give you a heads up. Now, obviously, you can customize any of these. So if you don't want to send out the 12 direct, where it's usually 12 contacts the entire year, or basically once a month, all right, if you don't want to do it once every 30 days, you can do it once every 15 days and make it technically 12 direct over 6 months. All right, if you don't want to do 8x8, where it's 8 contacts in 8 weeks, all right, then you could actually do 8 contacts in 8 months. All right, so you have complete customization of that. Now, in order to add contacts to the group, though, all right, you can actually hover over contacts. All right, and go to all contacts, that first option down, so you can actually view your database. All right, now this is what your My Contacts section is going to look like. All right, and in this case, you can actually go through, you can sort, all right, by certain items. So in this case, they're sorted by contact last activities, looks like it's going by. You can actually sort by first name, last name, budget, source, all right, type, a bunch of different items. And then you can even do it in descending order, all right, or ascending order, depending on which way you want to look at it. All right, you can also filter over here too, in case you happen to have a large database that you want to go through and filter out some of the contacts. So in this case, you can actually search for a certain contact, you can search for a certain email, search for a certain mailing address. All right, you can even come over here and see if you want to find a certain status. All right, maybe you want to go through and find a certain email address status, if they happen to have an active email, if they're on a campaign, if they're not on a campaign, all right, if they're not entered, basically. All right, so you can find a bunch of different items that you can actually take a look at on here. All right, and of course, then you can go through, you can change their status one at a time over here on the right-hand side. But if you did want to go through and bulk update some of these contacts, all right, particularly in adding them to groups, say I want to add Zachary Snyder over to a group. All right, so once I click on that, if you notice now, bulk update and print labels pops up, all right, because you can go through and print labels now. But we'll want to focus on bulk update. All right, so when I click on bulk update, this is where I can actually go through and edit the records or send the contacts to the trash / delete them if I want to. All right, so I can bulk delete contacts as well. So in this case, I just want to edit the records, so I'll click continue on here. All right, and this way I can update the groups or campaigns, I can update their categories, their company, their status, or even their history notes. So if I update the group and campaigns on here, I can either add them to groups, remove them from groups, add to campaigns, or remove from campaigns altogether. So in this case, if I wanted to bulk add people to groups, I'll leave it as add to groups, and then I can select whatever group that I created just by putting a check next to it so I can add them over immediately. So if I want to add Zachary Snyder to the 33 touch group, I can click update now and we're all good to go. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up as to how simple it is. Sorry about that. And obviously even more how even more pertinent to add them into groups, because that's going to help you out tremendously when sending out emails. All right, so that's a very brief overview of the contacts on here. Now we are in the back end of our eEdge account, so I always like to talk about this little gray bar up here. So if you ever try and click on the link underneath My Leads in the eEdge control panel, that'll take you to the dashboard directly. All right, the link underneath My Contacts will take you to the Contacts section. The link underneath My Marketing will take you to the Listings or Create Marketing. All right, and then the link underneath My Email will take you over to the little envelope icon on here. Alright, so the reason I always like to tell you guys that is because 4 of the 6 items will automatically take you to the back end of the eEdge control panel, so that way you can kind of take a look at everything back here. Alright, now one thing to note though, in order for everything to populate on your marketing pieces, you'll definitely want to click on the Hi option up here. It might even say Hi your name. Alright, and then you'll want to click on My Account, that second option down on here. Alright, so My Account, that second option down. Alright, and once I click on My Account, alright, then this is everything we can do to actually go through and update this immediately. Alright, so first thing first, if you do want to update anything that'll auto-populate over on your marketing pieces, you would want to click the Edit option up here at the top left. Alright, so you'll definitely want to click that Edit option at the top left to update everything possible. Alright, because on here, this is where you can update your name, you can update your title that would display, your license number, your designations. You can update your phone numbers over here too. Alright, in addition, you can update your external email. Now, I usually suggest on the external email putting inside your business email address, whatever that business email might be. Alright, because whenever you actually put inside your external email, then you can come over here to the marketing and reply to email and choose either the eEdge one or the external one. Now, marketing and reply to means that this email address is going to display on your marketing pieces. Alright, and whenever anyone tries to reply back to that marketing piece that you sent out via email, alright, it'll automatically send that reply back to this email address. Alright, so that's why I highly suggest putting inside your business email as your external email instead. Alright, then of course you can update your marketing website and how it'll display over here. You can update your address as well, making sure it's your office address, not your home address. Alright, and then even further down here you can update your mobile app too. Alright, so you definitely want to make sure you put inside your mobile app URL. Alright, so that way whenever you send out any type of email piece from the platform and where it says download my app, it'll automatically display your mobile app URL instead. Now whenever this is done, just click that save option and that'll update this immediately on here. Alright, now of course you can also scroll down even further if you want to add inside different social media profiles that you're a part of, so that way you can link it up on your email marketing pieces. But more importantly, at the very bottom, you can actually add inside your headshots and your marketing logo. Now the website image is going to be for your eEdge website, and the marketing image is going to be for your marketing pieces. Alright, so we'll want to make sure that we put inside a headshot on here of ourselves or a team headshot. Now the marketing logo over here, make sure you put inside either your own personal branded logo, you can put inside a QR code, or you can leave this blank. Alright, do not put inside a generic KW logo. If you want to put inside your Market Center KW logo, that's perfectly fine. The reason I suggest not putting inside a generic KW logo is because at the end of the day on your marketing pieces, a generic KW logo will automatically display. Alright, then this would display as well, and you don't want to have 2 generic KW logos on there. Alright, but it's very simple to add this inside. Just click the Edit option, click Browse, and then you can search for yours immediately on your desktop, laptop, or whatever device it is you might be utilizing. Alright, I know we're behind on time, so I apologize, but the final thing I want to show you guys is under the Create Marketing section. Now this is where you can access all of your different marketing pieces. I'm just going to briefly go over this with you guys real quick. Alright, we do have a marketing class that's actually happening this Thursday. So if you guys want to go over the entire marketing section, this will help out tremendously. Alright, so if we hover over Create Marketing on here, then we can actually go to our Marketing Center. Alright, the Marketing Center is going to be a culmination of all of your marketing pieces and how you can utilize them even further. Alright, so as you can see, keep in touch with customizable marketing templates and campaigns. Alright, so over here on the left-hand side, we can actually view previous marketing pieces that we've created. We'll have the monthly newsletter, which is something that Market Leader or the people that have basically partnered to create eEdge come out with each month. We'll have our campaigns that we've currently launched. We'll have our designs that we've gone through and created and saved. We can view any images we've uploaded or any mailing list in case we're doing print mailouts. Now, in addition to that, below here, you can actually go through and view all of your campaign templates in case you want to use them. You can view all of your email and video marketing pieces in case you'd like to use those too. All right, or any print marketing pieces. Now, you can send 5,000 emails per month via email. All right, so 5,000 emails per month. I guess I really didn't need to say 5,000 emails per month via email, but via e-edge, I guess. All right, and then of course for print marketing, you can order printing or you can download those pieces as a PDF in case you want to print them yourself. All right, that's always an option on here. All right, but the Marketing Center is basically just a culmination of all of your marketing pieces. Now the next thing down under Create Marketing is your My Campaign section. Now this is going to be all of your different campaigns that you currently have active or any campaigns that you might want to set up. All right, so in this case, everyone's going to have the monthly newsletter that'll say it's active, but unless you have any contacts on here, I won't do anything at all. All right, so she has 0 contacts. That's not going out to anybody. She does have one active 8x8 buyer campaign. It looks like it's going to one person. All right, but then you can actually see how many groups you have added on this campaign. You can see how many steps are currently on the campaign. So in this case, it looks like there are 6 email steps, 0 direct mail steps, and then 3 activity steps of certain things that we'd have to do. All right, now just to give you a heads up, if there are any direct mail steps, then you would have to pay for them because obviously you have to pay for it to be created, pay for postage, everything of that sort. But if it's just email steps, all right, then it would be completely free. Now, whenever that campaign has ended, you can actually move it over to another campaign as well. All right, any campaign that's active or paused. All right, so that way you can just continuously go through the loop. All right, and the cool thing about this is under the groups section, if you add contacts to the campaign under groups, all right, then whenever you add a new contact to that group that fits the specification of the campaign, so maybe it's an email campaign and you've added a 12 direct group on here, and you add a brand new person, to your contacts and put them in the 12 direct group and they have an active email, then they would automatically be added to this campaign. All right, so that's the cool part about this, just to give you a heads up. All right. So, of course, you can always click the Add New Campaign option up here at the top right to create a brand new campaign immediately. Now, you'll be able to scroll up and down to view all your different campaigns. You can click the Choose This Template option whenever you have decided on which campaign you want to utilize or just to take a look at them even further to see all the steps. Because you can actually go through, you can customize each piece, you can add inside the people that you want to receive the campaign. All right, there are a bunch of different items that you can do to customize everything even further. All right, so we're not going to go through that just because I know we're running out of time. But the biggest thing for me to tell you guys about is the delivery schedule. All right, on here, obviously, there are birthday and anniversary campaigns. That's pretty self-explanatory. It'll come out on their birthday or anniversary. All right, but then we have date and interval campaigns. All right, a date campaign means that we're going to know the exact date the piece is going to come out on. And an interval campaign means we're going to know the interval between each piece. So I always like to give this as an example. So let's say we add 100 contacts to a date campaign today on the 19th, and then a month from now on January 19th, we add another 100 contacts. All right, any pieces that have come out between today and January 19th, those 100 contacts added on January 19th would not receive because those dates are in the past. All right, so if we add in an interval campaign today, 100 contacts today, 100 contacts a month from now, those contacts added a month from now would start at the very beginning. All right, and that's because it's an interval campaign, so it doesn't matter, obviously when that particular date is for the piece to come out. All right, so keep that in mind whenever you're setting up any different campaigns. All right, and the final thing, and then I'll let you guys get on out of here, is we have the My Design section. Now, this is going to display all of your saved designs, so any designs that you may have created previously. All right, or of course, you can always go over and go to the design library in case you ever want to view any of the different pieces that you'd like to set up immediately. All right, so here are 6 different templates that she's actually created back in the day. All right, so that way she can come back here and update them later on if she wants to. All right, or under Design Library, you can actually view all the different templates that are available for you to go through and update. All right, now if you ever see where it says postcard on here, that means it's going to be a print mail item. All right, or if you see email in this case, that means it's going to be something that you can email out. All right, so I'm going to click on this just as an example real quick for you guys. But as you can see, this is what the piece would look like. This would auto-populate with our info from that My Account section. All right, but you can always go through and personalize this, or you can even compose this as an email too, so that way you can email it out immediately. Now, when you send out an email from the platform, this is going to display in the body of the email. It's going to send to everyone individually. All right, so it's not going to be an attachment, it won't be a hyperlink, and it's not going to look like you just bulk send it to everybody where they can see everyone's email. All right, it's going to send out to each person individually, whether you send it to 1 or 200 people or however many it might be. I think the limitation on each email is about 2,000. All right, but then this will also display in the body of the email too. All right, but that way you can go through, you can personalize these pieces even further, and you can kind of play around with it. So I always tell people the best way to learn how to utilize this is really just to go through and play around with it. All right, so get in the back end, dive in, make some mistakes, try, just take a look at everything. All right, because the more that you familiarize yourself with everything, the easier it's going to become, I promise. It's all muscle memory at the end of the day. All right, and once again, to access all the different marketing pieces, you can click on the plus sign of My Marketing and go to Create Marketing Materials or Manage and Create Campaigns. All right, so there you go. So that is going to be the end of our 1-ish hour myKW Academy overview class.